Now, one of the big areas of growth or advancement in phonology for school-age kids is they gain mastery of what we call morphophonemic change rules. That's a million-dollar word, isn't it? Morphophonemic change rules. And what those are sound modifications that will occur when morphemes are combined. So, when you combine different morphemes together to make more complex words, the sound elements or the phonological elements within the individual morphemes are affected. So some of this happens very young. In first grade, children know that the plural, when you add the plural to a noun, the phoneme used to signify plurality differs based on the root word. So for example, if my word is book, and I make it plural, what phoneme do I use? Right. Phoneme S, if we're looking at the IPA chart. But if I say dog, what phoneme do I use to make it plural? Even though I spell it this way, I don't say dogs, I say dogs. So actually the phoneme is Z. Now basically this is voiced and this is voiceless, and that determines whether you use S or Z to express that plurality. Okay? What if I want to pluralize bus?
Buses.
Okay? And then I have to phonologically say is. And that relates to the original root. You can't, if I just add S or Z, I couldn't make that distinction orally. So those are very simple morphophonemic change rules. All they affect is the bound grammatical morpheme. Okay? Those are simple morphophonemic change rules. Later in elementary, morphophonemic change rules become more complicated. Because not only the morpheme that's attached changes phonologically, but actually, when you attach the morpheme, it changes the phonological structure of the root, or the lexical morpheme. Okay? So let's look at some examples of that. In the word divine versus divinity, what's the derivational morpheme? Ity. What does that mean? It seriously means something being divine and divinity.
Having the quality of divineness.
Having the quality of, right, exactly. So if we look at the phonology in divine, we have divine. And if we look at divinity, we have divin. And then we have a divin. So here's what changed. The I changed to it. Do you see that? So actually, this is a more complicated morphophonemic change rule, and you don't need to know the IPA to hear them. When you say divine, you hear you got an I in the root. And when you say divinity, the I changes to it. Let's look at that in these other examples. Collide. In the second syllable, what is the vowel? I. And in collision, what's the vowel? Yeah. There you have a morphophonemic change rule operating. In explain, what's the vowel in the second syllable? Explanation. Up. Okay? So what can you say about all these words, though? What type of bound grammatical morpheme is attached to the root?
Suffix, is that what you're looking for?
Yeah. Is it inflectional? That's changing tense, number, plurality, possession. Or is it derivational? It's derivational. And remember, kids don't really gain mastery of derivational morphemes until they reach the school age years. And it's a gradual process. But morphophonemic change rules are basically rules that allow children to alter the phonological structure of the original root word or lexical morpheme when they add a bound derivation.